Right, which obviously brings us to The Predator, which is a film that Drew's going to talk about.
Since appearing in a small role in John McTiernan's classic Predator in 1987, Shane Black has gone on to make a great name for himself, both as a screenwriter, Lethal Weapon 1 and 2, Last Action Hero, and as a director, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, Iron Man 3, and The Nice Guys. So seeing his name attached to The Predator, the latest instalment in Fox's Predator franchise, naming though has not been the series' strong suit, along with frankly most other things, that it filled me and many others with considerable hope. Rather than bury the lead though, I'll just get this out of the way right now. The Predator, that's the new one, and not to be confused with Predator, because please see my remark about the naming, it's a worse film than Predator 2. Anyone who heard my thoughts on that first sequel in our Predators episode last year will understand quite how scathing a comment I intend that to be. It may even be worse than AVP, Alien vs Predator, though that's not a discussion I particularly care to get into. I will say though that it isn't as bad as Aliens vs Predator Requiem, but then most things shy of being repeatedly poked in the eye with a stick aren't as bad as Aliens vs Predator Requiem. Although being repeatedly poked in the eye with a stick will have the same level of being able to see anything as Aliens vs Predator Requiem. Army sniper Quinn McKenna, Boyd Holbrook, is on a mission in Mexico when he is attacked by a predator, whose ship has crash-landed on Earth after some far too uninteresting to care about internecine predator conflict. McKenna's squad mates are killed, but he manages to injure the predator and make off with some of its nifty space tech, which he mails to himself to keep out of the hands of the military's men in black he somehow knows will be coming for him. The Predator itself is captured and brought to a military laboratory that is kitted out with magical technology, tranquilizer rifles created by Nerf and or Nintendo by way of early 2000s Apple, and a Jake Busey, because even this film's Busey is worse than Predator 2. Olivia Munn's evolutionary biologist, Dr. Casey Brackett, is brought in as an expert, and of course immediately begins asking to interview Quinn McKenna and espousing theories on the modus operandi of extraterrestrial game hunters and the purpose and design of advanced alien technology. You know, just like evolutionary biologists don't. The alien beastie wakes up and escapes. Who'd have thought Earth sedatives would be less than entirely effective on a creature from space, right? And Dr. Brackett is one of the few humans who manages to escape. So Sterling K. Brown's Man in Black in Chief, Will Traeger, orders her to be killed because this film was written by a 12-year-old. Brackett is saved, however, by McKenna and a busload of imprisoned military veterans who suffer from a variety of mental health disorders and were, it seems, incarcerated in the US government's Cartoon Crazy Person prison. This ragtag group of caricatures then heads off to the house of McKenna's estranged wife, Emily, Yvonne Strahovski, because the alien technology everyone, including other predators, wants to get their hands on has ended up there due to a hilarious mix-up with an unpaid P.O. box bill. More specifically, it has ended up in the hands of McKenna's son Rory, Jacob Tremblay, a child with Asperger's syndrome who is, naturally, a genius who can decipher advanced alien technology in one night. Presumably this character is modelled after the same 12-year-old who wrote the script. Action proceeds to happen, naturally, but it's pretty damn hard to care about it, and even harder to give a crap about the overly large, subpar CGI mega predator that becomes the main antagonist. Really, it's very difficult to believe that this film was written and directed by Shane Black. He's known for his funny writing, and I laughed a fair few times, certainly, but those scenes absolutely did not fit into the rest of the film. The tone is woefully misjudged. It's comedy, not humour, and it feels so out of place. The script is risible. I'm really not joking about it feeling like it was written by an adolescent. For example, at one point someone says to Olivia Munn, "I hear you wrote the book on evolutionary biology." Now, that kind of sentence structure is a cliche for sure, but it can serve as a useful shorthand to explain to an audience that someone is really, really good at what they do, especially in a particularly niche, esoteric, or in some way hard to quantify capacity. It, however, resolutely does not work when referring to a field in which many, many people have, in fact, actually written many, many books. And then there's the acting. Save for Boyd Holbrook, who manages to bring a little charisma to his role, it is insipid at best and downright bad at worst. Olivia Munn, in particular, giving a notably poor performance. Shane Black showed in Iron Man 3 that he could take an established world and inject humour and inventive action into it. But not here. The most galling thing, though, especially given that he was in the original Predator, is that he seems to have missed the whole point. The alien was just that. Alien. Unknowable. Dangerous. In this film, the damn things are subtitled. I don't wish I was joking about that.
What did they say? It's like, hot out, Bob? That sort of thing.
They mostly say absolutely nothing you might not guess about by their actions, but it's...
Is it, I am going to kill a human now? No, okay, see you later.
The traitor predator has run away. We have now found the traitor predator. Let us kill the traitor predator, etc. So yes, subtitled Predators. Jeez, oh. It was also seen, and this is really the crucial point, it was also seen until the film's climax exceedingly sparingly. Even in Predator 2, there's not a lot you see like the original Predator shots from like the Predator's point of view, and you maybe get a wee bit more exploration of how the Predators are different and the different technology and stuff, but for the most part it's similar to the first one. And the Predator 2 even has some inventive shots, like that scene, because the first film was set in the jungle, and the second film you think it's in the jungle, and then the helicopter just rises above the trees and you see them in Los Angeles, and it's like you've got the juxtaposition of like it being the urban jungle, but also just it's a fake out to the audience. Actually, there's some real craft there. Not here. But as I said, yes, in the original, they're exceedingly sparingly used. You don't see the Predator much until the end, when he's in his final confrontation with Arnie. In The Predator, again, that's this one, the new one, because they all just use a number. For God's sake, use numbers, filmmakers. In The Predator, the creatures are on full display from the get-go, and rather than a tense game of cat and mouse with horror and slasher elements, it's just a bog-standard action film, and boy is that dull. I have a whole list of complaints. It's an actual list, I'm not even using that figuratively. I have an actual list of complaints for this film. So yes, more of them. Like the fact that, though the film begins somewhere in Mexico, the majority of it, prison, house, spaceship and all, seems to take place within a convenient hour's drive radius somewhere in the Pacific Northwest. I may, entirely hypothetical, I may also have sworn very, very loudly in the cinema in response to the embarrassingly bad reference to one of the original film's most famous lines. But I won't take any more of your time. I'll just say that this is a poor, poor film. Quelle deception. Don't waste your time with it.
I am disappointed, because I'd allowed myself to be a little bit hopeful about this, but...
yeah, me too.
Not hopeful enough to go out and see it, obviously, but...
Oh, that'd be crazy.
No, that's a great pity.
Hot garbage, Scott. Absolutely hot garbage.
What downer to end on. Let's invent a new film just now so we can give it a positive review, so we don't need to go out in such a downer.
Crank 3.
Crank 3 with Nick Cage
as Jason Statham's dad and or brother and or enemy.
As his dad and brother.
And enemy. I don't think that would be like anything we'd ever seen before, Scott.